There comes a moment in every man's life when he faces the brutal silence of being left behind, whether it was a breakup rejection or the slow, vanishing act of someone you once cared for. You may find yourself haunted by thoughts of her realizing her mistake, regretting it all, maybe even crawling back with apologies. You play those moments in your head like a film on repeat, hoping they'll bring peace. But what if I told you that peace doesn't come from her regret? What if the closure you're waiting for is just another form of dependence, keeping you chained to a version of yourself that still needs her reaction to feel complete? That's where the philosophy of the Stoics cuts through the noise. Real power, it's not in waiting for someone to return. It's in walking forward without hesitation. Real strength, it's not found in revenge or emotional manipulation. It's in building a life so full of purpose, discipline, and peace that their regret becomes irrelevant. In this video, we're not just going to talk about how to make her regret losing you. That's too small of a goal. We're going to talk about how to become so unshakably free that her regret, if it ever comes, is just background noise because your eyes are no longer looking back. This is the Stoic path to emotional independence. And once you choose it, you'll never be the same again. Let's begin. Number 1, face the fire, don't flee the flames. Pain has a way of making you want to run after heartbreak, betrayal, or rejection. Your first instinct is to escape, distract yourself, numb the ache, pretend it doesn't hurt. But the Stoics taught the opposite. Don't run from the fire. Walk into it, because that fire, it's not there to destroy you, it's there to refine you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What he meant was simple, yet powerful. The very pain you're avoiding is the path to your transformation. Right now, you may be wrestling with memories, battling emotions you don't want to admit. Maybe you still miss her. Maybe you feel anger, shame, or regret. And maybe you've told yourself that being strong means ignoring all of that. But true strength doesn't come from avoidance. It comes from confrontation. You have to sit with the pain, let it burn, let it show you what still needs healing. Let it strip away the illusion that she was the source of your worth. Every flame you face, every emotion, you don't run from. That self-mastery in action. When you stop fleeing and start feeling, something powerful happens. You realize that the fire isn't your enemy, it's your forge. It shapes a calmer, wiser, more grounded version of you. So stop running from the discomfort. Stop covering it up with distractions, rebound relationships, or fake smiles. Instead, face the fire with open eyes and a steady heart, because once you've survived your own flames, no one else can burn you again. Now speak out and comment below. I face my pain. I don't run from it. Don't. Number 2. She was never yours to begin with. Here's a hard truth you may not want to hear but need to. She was never yours, not really. You didn't lose her because people aren't possessions. You can't lose something that was never under your control in the first place. The Stoics remind us that attachment to what we do not control is the root of suffering. Epictetus put it bluntly, never say about anything, "I have lost it," but only, "I have given it back." He wasn't just talking about things, he was talking about people, relationships. Love you thought she was yours because she said forever. You believed her presence was a promise, but people don't belong to people. They come and go according to their nature, their choices, their journey. And trying to hold on too tightly only causes more pain. So what was she then? She was an experience, a mirror, a teacher, a chapter in your story, not the story itself. She revealed parts of you, the joy. You can feel the wounds you still carry, the depth of your love and the depth of your need. And now that she's gone, you're left not with emptiness, but with truth. The truth is, what's yours can never leave your mind. Your principles, your strength, your growth, these are yours, these stay. So stop saying you lost her. Start realizing you found yourself. She chose to leave. Let her. That was her path. You're on yours now. And it leads to peace, purpose, and power. And ironically, the moment you accept that she was never yours is the moment you become fully your own. Now speak out and comment below. I own myself, no one else. Number 3, the cold. Vanish, use silence as power. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is no move at all when she pulls away, ghosts you, or disrespects your presence. The instinct might be to chase, to fix, to explain yourself. But a Stoic man knows your silence is your sword, your absence is your answer. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. You don't retaliate with words, with begging, with desperate energy. You respond by vanishing completely, unapologetically." And silence isn't weakness, it's control. It sends a message without saying a word. It shows you don't need her validation, her closure, or her permission to move on. And ironically, that silence echoes louder in her mind than any text argument or emotional plea ever could. She might wonder, why isn't he chasing? Why did he just disappear? Did I mean nothing? And in that quiet space, a truth begins to dawn. Your value didn't vanish. When you did, it became unmistakably clear. Psychologically, silence flips the script. It removes her power to provoke a reaction. It forces her to sit with the consequences of her actions while you preserve your dignity. More importantly, silence is not about manipulating her feelings. It's about reclaiming your energy, redirecting your focus inward. You're not ghosting to punish, you're vanishing to protect your peace. And here's the paradox: when your silence is firm, calm and unwavering, it often speaks the loudest. It reveals a man who is no longer emotionally dependent, who's mastered the art of detachment, and that kind of man, he becomes unforgettable. So the next time she pulls away, don't argue, don't chase, just vanish and let the silence say everything now. Comment below, "My silence is power." Number 4, become the ghost who builds in silence after the storm disappear. Not in weakness, not in bitterness, but in power. When someone walks away, betrays your loyalty, or takes you for granted, don't waste your energy proving your worth to them. Don't try to convince anyone to see your value. Just vanish and start building the Stoics. Believe that true strength is forged in silence, not in noise, not in shouting your pain to the world, but in quietly reconstructing yourself behind closed doors. When you go ghost, not out of spite, but to rebuild, you enter a sacred space, a space where growth becomes personal, where discipline replaces distraction, where solitude becomes your weapon. You stop explaining yourself, you stop sharing your every move, you simply rise brick by brick, thought by thought, day by day. She may wonder where you went, others may notice your absence, but that's the point. Let them miss your energy, let them remember your presence. Let them wonder what you're doing while you quietly become something greater than they ever imagined. You don't owe the world access to your process. The victories you're working on in silence will speak for themselves in time, and by then you'll be unrecognizable, not because you told them, but because you showed them the man they once knew. He's gone. In his place stands someone stronger, calmer, more focused, a man forged in fire but tempered in silence. You are the ghost now, not haunting them, but haunting your own potential until it's fully realized. And when you return, not for validation, but by sheer force of progress, your presence will be undeniable. So disappear, not to be forgotten, but to become unforgettable. Now comment below, "I build in silence, I rise unseen." Number 5, be the flame that draws, not the smoke that chases. There are 2 types of energy in every pursuit: the flame that draws and the smoke that chases. The flame stands still. It doesn't move yet. It pulls everything toward it. Attention, curiosity, desire. It radiates without effort. But smoke is desperate. It clings, it spreads, it tries to follow wherever the wind takes it, hoping to be noticed, but always fading fast. Too many men become the smoke, chasing validation, chasing her attention, chasing closure. They try to impress, try to explain, try to stay relevant in someone's life who already walked away. That's not strength, that's survival mode. The Stoic path is different. It tells you, be the flame, become so rooted in who you are, so grounded in your discipline, so focused on your purpose that people are drawn to your energy without you saying a word. Marcus Aurelius didn't chase people. He mastered himself. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." Let that be your standard. Don't become smoke, reacting to every shift in the wind. Let go of needing to be seen, heard, or understood by someone who chose to stop seeing you. Clearly, your flame will grow in silence through your habits, your mindset, your focus. The more you build, the brighter you burn, and the world will feel your presence, even if you never say a word. Ironically, when you stop chasing, when you stop proving, when you stop needing, that's when people notice, because now you're not trying to be worthy, you already are. Number 6, rewrite your story. Don't rewind the pain. There's a moment every strong man faces when the pain is loud, the memories play on a loop, and you're tempted to press rewind to revisit every conversation, every moment she pulled away, every word you wish you had said differently. But here's the truth. Rewinding the pain won't fix anything. It won't change the outcome, and it definitely won't make you stronger. In fact, it keeps you trapped, reliving a story that no longer serves you. Marcus Aurelius said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. That's your power, not to relive, but to reframe. You rewrite your story when you stop identifying with the wound and start identifying with the warrior, rising from it. She may have left, she may have hurt you, but that is not where your story ends. It's where it begins. Every setback, every heartbreak, every betrayal. It's all raw material, not for a sob story, but for a transformation. This is where you redefine who you are. This is where you take back the pen and start writing a new chapter, one built on strength, clarity, discipline, and peace. The Stoic doesn't ask why me, he asks how can I use this? So use the pain, don't replay it, don't scroll through her old pictures, don't revisit the what-ifs, and may they're ghosts and you don't belong in the graveyard. Write a new story with new habits, a new path, a new vision. Let the past be your teacher, not your prison, because every time you choose growth over rumination, discipline over self-pity, and purpose over pain, you reclaim your power. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you. Now comment below, I'm not reliving the past. I'm rewriting my future. Number 7, stop reopening wounds that were meant to heal. Some wounds don't bleed on the outside. They reopen quietly when no one's looking. A text, you almost send a profile you check late at night. A memory, you replay, thinking maybe this time it'll hurt less, but it doesn't. That's because healing isn't just about time passing, it's about what you do with that time. And if you keep tearing open the very wounds that are trying to close, you're not healing, you're bleeding in silence. Marcus Aurelius said, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed, don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. That's not denial, that's discipline. Every time you revisit her page, her name, her world, you are handing over your peace. You are choosing to scratch a scar that could have sealed the truth. Is the wound may not have been your fault, but the healing is your responsibility. Stop tying your worth to her attention. Stop seeking closure from someone who couldn't even handle your presence. The Stoic doesn't wait for the world to make sense. He creates meaning from the chaos. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop hurting? Then stop picking at what's trying to grow. Let the silence work. Let the distance protect you. Let the detachment empower you, because peace doesn't come when she texts you back. Peace comes when her absence no longer stings. Don't glamorize the pain. Don't romanticize what broke you. Learn, rise close the chapter. It's not weakness to let go, it's wisdom. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is nothing at all. Just breathe, just focus, just live now. Comment below. I choose healing, not hurting. Your next level begins when you stop trying to reopen doors the universe already closed. Number 8, stop watching her. Let her start watching you. You check her stories. You scroll through her photos. You wonder who that new guy is, what she's doing, if she ever even thinks about you. But here's the truth. Every second you spend watching her, she becomes stronger in your mind, and you become weaker in your own life. You're not moving forward. You're stuck, haunted by a highlight reel that doesn't even reflect reality. Meanwhile, your potential waits in silence, wondering when you'll finally look inward instead of outward. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Translation: focus so deeply on your growth that people assume you're gone. Meanwhile, you're leveling up in silence. Stop watching her. Stop analyzing. Stop feeding your curiosity with pain. You are not her follower. You are the main character of your own story. And when you shift that focus, when you stop chasing updates and start chasing purpose, something powerful happens. She starts watching you. She'll see your silence. She'll feel the change. She'll wonder why your attention disappeared and why her presence no longer controls you. But that's not your concern anymore. You don't build greatness by looking back. You don't grow by stalking a past that already let go of you. You grow by vanishing from her world and appearing in a better one. Yours. Train your mind, build your craft, shape your future. Because when you rise with discipline, focus and intention, you don't need to announce anything. Your transformation speaks for itself. Let her scroll through your growth. Let her hear about your success from others. Let her wonder where the version of you she knew went. He didn't disappear, he evolved now. Comment below. I choose progress over obsession, because when you stop watching her, you finally give her a reason to start watching you, and by then you won't even care. Number 9, real distance creates real power. You think silence is weak, that pulling away means surrender. But the truth is, distance is where power begins, not just physical space, but mental and emotional distance. When you stop needing to explain, prove, or remind her of your worth, you reclaim your power. The Stoics didn't argue with people who didn't see their value. They simply withdrew into discipline, purpose, and silence, because nothing speaks louder than the energy that's no longer available. Marcus Aurelius said the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. In other words, don't chase, don't beg, don't react. Remove yourself, not out of spite, but out of clarity, out of strength. Because when you put real distance between you and someone who couldn't see your value, you create a vacuum, a void they can feel. Even if you never say a word, you stop giving her access to your energy, your attention, your soul. And that silence is deafening. She might reach out, she might stalk your stories, ask around, or send breadcrumbs, but that doesn't matter anymore, because the man who creates real distance doesn't do it to get noticed. He does it to heal and build. That's how you rise. You stop trying to control the narrative. You stop trying to fix what broke, and you start becoming the version of yourself that doesn't need the apology, the explanation, or even the closure. Real distance breaks emotional chains. It replaces obsession with focus and longing with action. It's in that space that power returns, quiet, grounded, and unstoppable. So take that step back, go silent, disengage, and watch how your world begins to shift. Comment below. I distance myself to reclaim my power, because the farther you step away from what no longer serves you, the closer you get to who you were meant to become. Number 10. Let her feel regret while you find freedom. Right now, a part of you might secretly hope she regrets leaving, that she lies awake at night replaying every moment, wishing she could take it all back. That kind of validation might feel like closure. But here's the cold truth grounded in Stoic wisdom. Her regret isn't your freedom, your detachment is, you see. Real power begins the moment you stop needing her to realize what she lost. Because even if she comes back crying, begging, full of remorse, it won't fix you. Only you can do that. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Her regret is an outside event, unreliable, uncontrollable. But your mind, that's your kingdom, that's your arena. And when you rule it with discipline and clarity, you become untouchable. You become the man who no longer needs an apology to move forward, who no longer checks her profile, replays old memories, or waits for closure. You build silently, you rise privately. Ironically, that is what often sparks the deepest regret in others, when they realize you no longer care, when they see you've become more without them than you ever were with them. But by then it won't even matter, because you'll be free, not because she came back, but because you moved on. So stop imagining the what-ifs, stop waiting for her to realize your worth, and start living in a way that makes your past irrelevant. You don't heal by hoping she feels sorry. You heal by becoming someone who doesn't need her to be. Comment below. I don't wait for regret. I choose freedom. because the moment you stop looking back for her shadow, you start walking fully in your